Alternate art cards. Man.
Come on with your
alternate art cards. It's rough out here in the streets. This is part 3 of the final series, part whatever you want to call it, of why alternate art cards are dropping. Not really why, but just a look at the drops of these cards. And we are going to go over the final 3 sets, really 2 sets. You got the Lost Origin, Silver Tempest, and of course the promos. Now before we get into that, I just want to go over 3 different things that were comments on the last video that I definitely want to touch upon. Try to make it very quick. First one, I fucked up. Hella hard. I love how I started the video off where I gotta be right and not fuck up, and then I fuck up. That's why you guys are amazing, because you can basically just whip your dick out, slap me in the face, and then tell me why I'm wrong.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about?
So the first thing I got wrong was obviously where Fusion Strike landed. I said that Fusion Strike was in between Evolving Skies and Celebrations. I was wrong. It was after Celebrations. For whoever commented that, I forget your name, but thank you for commenting that. Basically, the reason I thought this, and it's kind of a rough idea of where Fusion Strike landed, because yes, Fusion Strike came after Celebrations, but the Celebrations drop is a very weird one. Basically, they had released a couple products originally, I think, was it October, before Fusion Strike. When it comes to these specialty sets, usually they release different parts of the set throughout the months. But one of the other things was that because of Celebrations being so hyped, it got sold out immediately, got delayed, product got fucking pushed back. And that's why, like, a lot of people were still looking for Celebrations after Fusion Strike had come out. That was one of my things, because when I was trying to get Celebrations, I didn't get jack shit. I think I got, the first product I ever got was the pin collection of Zacian, and I don't think I got that till after Celebrations, or Fusion Strike, I should say. Because like most of my Celebration stuff came after the Fusion Strike set, so I think that's why in my mind I was thinking, oh, Celebrations came after Fusion Strike. But the thing is because of just how crazy, like, Evolving Skies, everyone was going nuts for that. Everyone was buying that shit out. Celebrations get released, oh shit. You know, scalpers, bots, all taking everything of Celebrations. And that basically pushed back a lot of different products. It was very hard to get a lot of products. I'm currently, I was actually, this was the first time that really got me into Pokemon, was I was in a Discord server for Pokemon. Shout out to Sttowe, shout out to all the guys in this Discord, because it was a great group of collectors, Pokemon fans, and I still am in that Discord. Basically, it was a guy that made a Discord for his store, and when Celebrations came out, instead of doing what most stores did, which was spike the prices, basically he would do lotteries. And so depending on your rank in the Discord, about how active you were, you could put yourself in the lottery, and if you won, you could buy any Celebrations product that was in the lottery for MSRP, the good price. And he was a real fucking just great guy with that. And during that time, no one could get Celebrations. Stores would just hike the price and then just let loose and let a million bots take the shit. It was just bad. And, you know, it definitely shows, because now Celebrations is like such a low valued set. Everyone has the cards are so cheap. I do think eventually there will be a revival of Celebrations, but we're getting into a whole different video right now. But basically that's what I'm saying, is that I'm fucking stupid. The second comment that I got was that, you know, it's a simple reason for why all these alt arts are dropping in price, just bad economy. No one can buy anything. All these cards are dropping because of that. Yes, that is very true, and a lot of people were saying everything in Pokemon was dropping, and that's not exactly true. Yes, the economy is shit, so of course these cards are gonna drop, right? But it's not everything. Like, again, full art trainers have just fucking shot up, like, in months. And I made a video on that a couple months ago where just these full art trainers were just fucking going up out of nowhere. And basically, they're still holding value. I think some of them might have dropped like a tiny bit, but they're still sitting really high. And if you want to watch that kind of video, I did like 26 full art trainers, like the top full art trainers, mainly waifus and their prices, but it's kind of a shittier version of this video. But basically, yes, the economy is really shitty, and again, that is definitely plays a part in why these cards are dropping. But at the same time, these are very like highly collectible and rare. And when I say rare, a lot of people are like, well, these cards got like printed a shit ton. Yes, they got printed a shit ton, like 5,000, 10,000 of these copies, maybe even more. I don't really know the numbers, but basically when I say rare, I'm talking about like rarity of pulling these cards. Basically, you weren't even guaranteed one alternate art in a booster box. Nowadays, you're almost guaranteed one. But back in Sword and Shield, you weren't guaranteed any alt arts per booster box. You could have just gotten a gold card and Pokemon said, fuck you. Like, that's basically it. So, alt arts, though they got printed a lot, they definitely are a rarer type of card. Were definitely harder to pull back then than it is now in the Scarlet and Violet sets. So, yes, economy, the amount of cards that got printed does play a part. But compared to something like Full Art Trainers, it's kind of surprising. And then that goes to my part 3. A lot of people were always just very upset that, you know, hey, my collection's dropping in money. This really sucks. I got fucked over. I've been fucked over since day one. Bro, I'm with you on that. Most of my alt art cards are dropping, but this is the thing that it's basically the market. It's basically like stocks, like crypto. It's like just everything when it comes to collectibles. They go up, they go down. So right now we're definitely in a lower decline. I think that because of this, it's definitely a good time to buy alternate arts, and that's kind of the point of this series, was to show you how low these cards are going and that they definitely can go up. But anyways, all right, the rant is over. Let's get into Lost Origin, or I'm gonna come. If you're new to this series, I don't know why you're watching part 3. Like, maybe go back a couple series, maybe. But anyways, we're going to go over 3 different things real quickly. We are going to go over the price before the Christmas spike, the highest price these cards have reached, and then the current price that they are as of today. Now, again, this is a 3-part series, so we're going over Lost Origin, Silver Tempest, and the promos. Another disclaimer is that, of course, these cards change drastically. They're constantly changing in price. So one day they're going to be $100, next day they're going to be $200, maybe. I don't know, $550, maybe $0, because fuck the Pokemon market. I don't know. But basically, just be aware of, you know, if you're watching this video a month later and you see that this card that I said was this price is not this price, please don't come to my house and kill me. You know, it is what it is. These change every week. I've had to change this fucking price list like 3-4 times already. And so I'm just trying to get these out ASAP so that I can be like, listen, these were the prices at this date. Fuck you. Just kidding. I love you. Anyway, starting off, we have the Giratina V alternate art, the best card and most expensive card out of the Lost Origin set. One of the biggest hype cards there were. Basically, the price before Christmas was at $221.37. And then in March of 2023, went up to its highest point at $331.89. Today sits at $259.61. Was originally at $279 like 2 weeks ago, so it has dropped $20 since. And again, that's the one thing with these more expensive cards, is they'll just constantly drop $20, go up $20, just constantly fluctuate in like, you know, $20. Basically, you'd think like, oh shit, $20, that's a lot of money. But you know, for these high-priced alt art cards that are around $200-300, it's kind of not, sadly to say. But again, you want to definitely get these. If it's like $20, if it's $10, hell, even if it's $5, you definitely want to get it at the best price possible. So definitely at $259, not a bad price to get it at. It is one of the more like demanding alt arts out of the Sword and Shield era. One of the more favorite ones. It's Giratina. Bro, like, the person who drew this fucking card must have been on like bath salts, because there's just so much shit on the card. Gorgeous fucking card. I love it. So much shit happening in that card. Like, Giratina is just fucking shit up in that card. Just there, I guess. But really, really gorgeous card. I still need to get it, and I don't have it. So it's a really expensive card. Could end up dropping in price as the market goes down, but again, Lost Origin being such a hyped set that, you know, honestly, it's weird because Lost Origin's a very hyped set, kind of like Evolving Skies, not to that point, but you can still get booster boxes and ETBs for pretty low price. You can get the ETBs, I think, for like 30, 35 bucks, and you can still get the booster boxes for 140. They did a kind of small reprint or restock, and that kind of lowered the value because I believe the booster boxes were going above 180 at one point, but they really dropped, and I think that's kind of helping these alt arts drop in value too, because again, they were sitting, this card was at 331, now it's at 250. Like that's an $80 drop, like nearly $100. That's pretty crazy, especially for like a fan favorite set with a trainer gallery. Then we have the Aerodactyl V sitting at $118 before the Christmas spike in December. The Christmas spike went up to $131.29, and then today sits at $101.78. So basically went up about like $12 and then dropped $30. Now, the Aerodactyl one is an interesting one. I kind of never cared for it. A lot of people were very hyped for it. It was like a Jurassic Park vibe, which is really cool. It showcases a lot of like ancient Pokemon, and it's a really gorgeous card. Just wouldn't have like expected that card to be $100, maybe like 30, 40, 50 bucks. $100, I'm like, geez, man, that's a bit expensive. But you know, it's dropped 30 bucks, around 100. I probably still won't get it unless it drops maybe to 80. It's a gorgeous card showcasing a lot of alt arts, and of course Aerodactyl flying in the sky. Don't know where he's flying to. It's a pretty nice card. And then we have the Rotom V card. Before Christmas was sitting at $47.88. Then in November of 2022 was at $48.59, and then now sits at $33.15. This card has been continuing to drop because I think now it's maybe around $30, $25. If you can get it for that price, that's definitely a good buy. I would buy it for 25 bucks, to be honest. I see a lot of Rotom Vs being sold here and there, so it could continue to drop. And again, I just think for 25 bucks, it's definitely just a worth it pickup, especially, you know, that's half the price as what it was on release before the Christmas spike, you know, and after Christmas spike, because it was at basically 50 bucks. So you're getting it at half the price, which isn't bad. Also, fuck Black Friday, because fuck Black Friday. Last time I went Black Friday shopping, I was like a kid. I went to fucking Toys R Us. Oh my god, I remember that. It was like 2 a.m. with my mother. She was drunk out of her mind. We were in line for Toys R Us. And then, it was like yesterday. Imagine Toys R Us, right? And basically what happened, I think I was online for like 30 minutes to get the iPod Touch 4th generation. And that was like my Christmas gift. Oh, those were such good times. I miss Toys R Us a lot. Anyways, next up, and the final card out of the Lost Origin set is the Galarian Berserker V. Another Meowth Pokemon. I don't know why they made like a bunch of Meowth Pokemons, but I guess Meowth, right? Basically, the price before Christmas was $36.93. Then in November went up to $42.37, and then now sits at $20.53. 20 bucks for this alt art card. To me, it's not really a nice alt art. Like, I don't care for it, is what I'm trying to say. If you like Galarian Berserker, it was like a Viking as a cat, furries, I mean, I guess you can get it. It's 20 bucks, so it's not like terrible. You know, again, it was at 40 bucks, so you're getting it at half price. That's kind of the trend out of all these cards. They're basically lowering at half price for the most part. But for me, I just don't really care about Berserker, to be honest. It's a good price. That's really all I could say about it. A lot of these cards have dropped and at half price to a degree, except for the more expensive ones, and they're a nice price, I guess. So the one thing I had forgotten in the last video was where these cards stand. I won't do that this time. Basically, Lost Origin sitting at 4 cards. Now, at its highest point was sitting at second place with $138.53 as the median, and is actually, as of today, the most expensive set, sitting at $108.82 as the median price, which is the first and best rank. So surprisingly, Lost Origin kind of surpassed Evolving Skies as like the median. Now, again, take that with a grain of salt, because what the fuck does the median mean? The median means that I just took whatever cards were in the set, which were 4, and added them up and divided by 4, and that's what the median is. So that's what you're kind of expecting to get, I guess, with the alt arts. I don't even know why I did the median, just to show you what these sets are like with their alt arts, and I guess the median price altogether. You know, I guess if you want to say buy booster boxes and you don't know which booster box to get, maybe getting these based on the median price would help you a bit. The reason for that is just because if you have a booster box, you want to know what the value of and what the value is in the booster box, right? So that's why I'm kind of making this list. It doesn't really affect singles or anything, so just there. Now we are starting off with Silver Tempest. Again, another set with only 4 alt arts. We've come across 3 sets as of now that had 4 alt arts. Starting off, we have the Lugia V, which this is going to be interesting because these cards were actually based solely on the release. That's how recent we kind of was able to get with the graph. So Lugia V on release was sitting at $400. The fuck? As of today, it sits at $152.91. And today, as in like 2 weeks ago, because the card currently sits at $124.13. So this card definitely dropped a lot and is still dropping pretty drastically. So it's definitely a good card to pick up. It's a legendary alt art. Kind of surprising because I guess a lot of people were depicting this Lugia V to be the same as the Giratina V in Lost Origin. Didn't really happen. Is kind of acting more like the Charizard V in Brilliant Stars, but still a gorgeous card and depicts basically Lugia fucking on its period, flipping a tantrum in the fucking ocean, and the poor fisherman is gonna fucking die. I don't know why this fisherman like basically just gets fucked over. I don't know where he's going, but like you kind of saw him with the Gyarados card. Gyarados just like gonna kill him, and now he probably finally got away. Now he's just gonna get by the Lugia. It's kind of interesting because like if you fish in Pokemon, you're basically just eating Pokemon. And I mean that's kind of the whole thing with Pokemon that they don't tell you is really they're just eating Pokemon. Because I highly doubt that fucking they're all vegans and don't even eat Pokemon. Hell, even the plants are Pokemon. So I don't know what the fuck they're eating, but like, and some of the depictions of like Pokemon dying is just they disappear. So I don't know. That's kind of weird. What are people eating? Grass? Anyways, we got the Unknown V card on release was at $89.99. Fucking ridiculous. And of course, that's its highest price reached. And as of today, sits at $21.53. Could probably get around 20 bucks. Not a bad card. The Unknown cards were really cool. This was kind of like the introduction into the unknowns again, because I don't think we've gotten unknowns for quite a while. I don't remember there being any unknown cards in Sword and Shield until these cards. So pretty cool. Just a bunch of flying letters. I don't know. Make some graffiti. It's fucking flying spaghetti monsters. That's what it is. So 20 bucks for an alt art, not too bad. Then you have the Skunk Tank V card, which I don't know why anybody on Team Rocket would have a skunk tank, because that's kind of smelly. On release was sitting at $39.99 and now sits at one of the cheapest alt arts at $8.15. If you don't have it, just buy it. It's 10 bucks. If you saw the last video, you know my opinion on any alt arts that are under $10, that are under $20. You might as well just fucking buy it. Lastly, to finish out the set, we have Regidrago V. This was a card that was going for around $61.77 on release, which again was its highest price. And then as of today has gone down to $18.14, a huge drop of $40. It's a really cool card because it features Regidrago, a Reggie boy. And I love the Reggie rocks. I love their voice. They just sound like... Kill you! Power of the sun! And they just kill everything. And I love them. They're just unfazed. You know, God forbid you're just in a garden picking a flower and they will fucking just disintegrate you. Like, they don't give a shit. They just pop up uninvited and fuck you up. Like, they're basically like your uncle showing up to your birthday party and just fucking everything up. Maybe you. I don't know. That's Reggie Drago, baby. Anyways, a really cool alt art. I ended up pulling this card out of a single pack, and I think around that time it was going for 30 bucks, so it dropped a lot, sadly. But it's a cool card. Definitely would rather get these cards out of, you know, like, I'd rather get the Reggie Drago instead of like the Skunk Tank or the Unknown, or the Rotom or Galarian Berserker. I'd rather just have the Reggie. If you were wondering, you know, when these cards were at their highest point, when they were at this price, basically around October of last year was when Silver Tempest released, and so that was kind of its highest point. Was on release day, and unfortunately that doesn't really help as far as the pricing and like trying to get a visual on it, because usually most cards on release are at their highest point because of hype and people that get the cards before the set even releases trying to sell it. That's why you'll see kind of with these promo cards, especially with the Charizard, with the UPCs, those cards were going for like 80, 90, 100 bucks, and now they're sitting at 10 bucks. So it's really ridiculous. But going into the prices, obviously Silver Tempest sitting at 4 cards, basically at its highest point, which, you know, unfortunately was in October on release. It was first, the best, the highest alt arts in the whole Sword and Shield, but truly that's only because of the fact that this data was from its release, unlike the other ones. If, you know, if that wasn't the case, this probably wouldn't be first, but basically was sitting at $147.93, and as of today has dropped tremendously down to 5th place, currently sitting at $50.18 as its medium. So really has dropped like 3 times. It's divided by 3 basically. Really sad to see it. Silver Tempest, in my opinion, I still think is a great set and a worthy set to get. Really gorgeous alternate art cards, really gorgeous trainer gallery cards, really gorgeous full art trainer cards. Definitely a big hitter set that I think, you know, if you don't have it, you might as well just get it just to hold on to, especially the booster boxes are definitely, in my opinion, a good buy. But anyways, now we get into the final part of this video. Very sad to end this whole series, but it is what it is. We are going to be talking about the promo cards. Now, there are actually 10 promo cards that we are going to be looking at, and one of them you might even say isn't an alt art, but to me I consider it an alt art because it's just really beautiful. But we are going to start off with the Vaporeon, Flareon, and Jolteon premium collection cards. Now, to give you guys a rough idea on this product, these were in a premium collection box that on release was going for an MSRP value of $39.99, and basically what you got was 2 alternate art cards of Flareon, Vaporeon, and Jolteon. Obviously, it got bought out immediately. A lot of people were jumping on this product. A lot of sellers were selling these products for 10, 20 bucks more than what they were, like MSRP. So it was kind of shady shit here and there. If you got it for $39.99, you were extremely lucky. I went to a game store and I just said, fuck it, I'll buy it for $49.99. And again, I mean, that's kind of, it's tough to say whether you're getting ripped off truly, because a lot of these game stores with Pokemon nowadays need to make some kind of money. And it's very tough nowadays with how Pokemon is. So I can understand raising the prices up a little bit. But basically now it's like scalper galore. If you want these products, they're sitting at $84.99 a box when you could get 2 boxes for that price. Crazy. They just doubled in price, and it makes sense. These alternate art cards are so gorgeous, and I mean, you're about to see what they look like if you don't know what they look like. They're so pretty. Vaporeon is easily my favorite. And it definitely is. These were good boxes to invest in if you just found them in the middle of nowhere and you just buy them. Where I live, I couldn't find any of them. A lot of them were sold at Targets, Walmarts, and I couldn't find any. If I did, I would have jumped on them immediately, but my luck is just shit. So anyways, we're going to start off with the Flareon V card. This was a card before Christmas, was at $23.34, and this was actually its highest price in October. And then currently now has gone down a couple dollars at $21.51. And then you have the Flareon VMAX sitting at $23.60. Again, this was its highest price in October and now sits at $15.88. So it's dropped a little bit more. These Flareon Alt Art cards, which I'm just going to go side by side, are just very gorgeous. And in my opinion, with all these promo cards, they're definitely worth getting, just buying them. You know, unfortunately, I don't think, like, if you want these Alt Art cards, it's probably best to just outright buy them than the VMAX collection boxes that they're in, just because of how much money you're going to be spending for these Flareon cards. You can get both the Alt Arts for $36 versus $84.99 for the VMAX collection, and all you're getting is a bunch of packs that you're not going to pull shit in, just being honest. So, like, if you want these Alt Arts, just buy them. Just buy them in the market as singles. They're really gorgeous. And honestly, I think as time will go on, because of the fact they're promos, because of the fact they're so desirable, because of the fact the boxes you get them in are so highly priced, eventually these cards are probably going to be very sought after. Especially if you missed it, because, you know, when this set came out, it was very hard to get a hold of these. So it still is to this day. You know, they don't have them out anymore in public. So if you want these, you basically have to buy them on the secondary market, and you're going to be spending double the amount, which is just ridiculous. Then you have the Vaporeon V card, which was sitting at $15.52. It went up a couple dollars in July of 2023 at $24.17, and then went down to $21.31. With these cards, you're kind of seeing like a little jump, a little bit lower, not too crazy. And then you have the Vaporeon VMAX, which was at $18.82 before Christmas. Then in July of 2023, along with the Vaporeon V, went up to $34.95. And then as of today, sits at $28.18. So it is kind of surprising, but that's just the Vaporeon. The Alt Arts are so gorgeous for these cards. Definitely just worth buying. But again, we're just seeing like market corrections. It's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down. Still hovering around the same price that they were back before Christmas time last year. So definitely, you know, even though you're not really saving so much money now, just to have these, I think, is definitely worth it. And then we have the Jolteon cards with the Jolteon V sitting at $17.27, and then going up to $19.88 in July, and then going back down to $16.42 as of today. So went up $2, went down $3. Nothing crazy. Then you have the Jolteon VMAX sitting at $21.78, went up to $25.92 in July, and then back down to $21.68 as of today. Again, just going up a couple dollars, going down a couple dollars. It is what it is. I think, again, you know, I have all these cards. I bought the boxes for like $49.99, and I just said, fuck it, I'll pay $10 more to get these all. And I'm glad I did, because I love these cards. I think my next thing will probably be getting these graded, or like trying to get PSA 10s of all of these. I would love to have that, just a PSA 10 collection of all the Alt Arts. And another reason I probably should say is why I think these are definitely valuable is because of, if you are an Eevee fan, which Eevee is a very popular Pokemon, and you want all the Evolution Alt Arts, you need to get these promos. A lot of the cards were in the Evolving Sky set. Then one of the cards, being the Espeon VMAX, was in the Fusion Strike set, and then the rest of these six really, are in the promo boxes. So to get all of them together, you're going through 3 different like sets, products. So just to get all of them. And I think, you know, eventually when we hit that time, like later in the future, if you're someone that's getting into Pokemon and you want all the evolutions, you're like, fuck, I gotta go through 3 different sets and get these. And because of that, it might hold a high like standard value. Going into the Arceus V card, this one is, I wouldn't really say controversial, but maybe if you don't think it's a alt art, then it might be, because I think it's an alt art. I find it beautiful. Basically just fucking Arceus flying over like a god, as he is a god. Basically, this coming from the Arceus V figure collection on release was sitting at $24.99, and as of now goes for about $35 for the box. Basically, it just came with the Arceus little figurine, jizz on it. You know, not much you could do about it. came with the gorgeous RCSV card, promo card, which I really think is an alt art. Not really the greatest because it has the black bordering, not the silver, but that you'd expect, but I can still consider it kind of like an alt art. And it came with 4 packs, with which one of them being the Cosmic Eclipse pack, which is why they're so highly valued. So you get a really cool promo card and you get Cosmic Eclipse, which I think now sits at like 15 bucks a pack, maybe 20 bucks a pack. So because of that, the box itself really shot up $10. But anyways, back before Christmas was sitting at $6.09 for this card. And then its highest point reached in May was at $8.71 and has gone down a couple cents to $8.48. So it's still hovering around $8 for this card. It's just a simple promo V, but it really isn't, because to me, I consider it a really gorgeous alt art card. Came out as one of the promos in the for Japanese, I think, with the Brilliant Diamond something Pearl, Coming Pearl promo card you got with the game in Japan or Korea, something like that. And a lot of people were going crazy for it, like, oh my god, are we gonna get this in English? And then we finally got it in English. I think this is a card that can go to $10, $15, maybe even $20, depending on, a couple years from now. It is a really gorgeous card and definitely a card worth getting, in my opinion. Then we have the Charizard cards with the Charizard UPC. Now, the UPC was an interesting one. We're kind of going in a reverse trend as we just were now, because it has actually gone down in price since release. On release was sitting at $129.99, and when this first came out, a lot of people were thinking that this product was going to be very hard to get, just like the Celebrations UPC, which wasn't the case. Pokemon fucking shitted these out entirely. Diarrhea just everywhere to every fucking big giant store. And, it shot the price down. And I'm glad, because everybody could get this. And it wasn't like the whole Celebrations thing where, if you're lucky, you were able to get your fucking dick on that. Barely. Right now, it sits at $94.45. So it has even dropped like 30, 40 bucks. So you can get this product for very cheap. It's a UPC. One of the reasons that it was so cheap was the pull rates were fucking shit. Besides the fact that it's got printed to oblivion. Pull rates were garbage. You could open all the fucking packs, which I think was like around like 20, almost 20 packs, 16 packs maybe, and you basically could only get like a V card. If you were lucky, you maybe got like a full art card. You couldn't get shit in this set. I couldn't get shit. I fucking did an opening in this, and I got like 2 V cards. And it's like ridiculous, and I think that's why a lot of people were kind of not buying this as much, just getting the promos. You're spending over $100 for this premium product, and all you get is 2 $1 cards. It just mathematically, price-wise, just didn't make sense. And really, you can basically find this UPC anywhere you go now. Fucking stores are just trying to discount this and get it out of their shelves because it just sits there. It's really great because it comes with all the packs from the Sword and Shield era, kind of just doing like a little showcase of everything that got released in the Sword and Shield era, which is really cool. It's just Pokemon kind of looked at this as, oh, let's put all the packs that fucking don't get hits in these. And so it made it a really shitty product, to be honest. It's a gorgeous product, just really shitty. But besides that, let's actually get into the cards. We got the Charizard V card. Was sitting at $66.75 on release. This was before Christmas, when this UPC was a little bit hard to get at first. A lot of people were buying this outright, and then a couple months after, it was widely available. So it was just a little scary, a little FOMO in the beginning, but not that crazy. But anyways, $66.75 before Christmas. Then that was actually its highest point ever reached, and today sits at $5.76. Dropped $60. This is a very cheap card, and you're going to see the trend with the rest. You have the Charizard VMAX, which is a gorgeous card. He's basically going Godzilla mode, killing everything in its path, sitting at $94.14, a $100 card, and has dropped to $11.68, has basically dropped $80. Wow. That is fucking crazy. Then you have the Charizard V-Star, a really cool one fighting Mewtwo. And that card was sitting at 78.12 in October when this released, and has now dropped to $9.57. Just major drops from glory. These cards are all like $10 and under. And again, I will say these are good cards to buy. They did get printed a shit ton, but just to have these in your collection is very worth it in my opinion. Especially later down the line. I feel like this will kind of be hard for this product to go up in price, but you know, maybe, I don't know, if there's like a resurgence in the Pokemon TCG, a new wave of people coming in, you know, we could see this product going up in price a little bit. I have an extra UPC that I'm just holding on to sealed. I don't plan on opening it because I know I'm going to get shit, but you know, maybe one day it might jump up to 150, and who knows, maybe I can sell it for a profit then. But at this time, I'm kind of just keeping it as a sealed collection. With all these promo cards, I think they're pretty cheap, that if you don't have these, just get them. The fact that they're promos, you know, they come from different products, specialty products, definitely in my opinion are just worth buying just to have, especially with how cheap they are now. God only knows what's gonna happen with fucking the market later down the line. Anything could really happen. Besides just trying to like make money on these cards, they are very gorgeous, and definitely just, again, anybody who's collecting Pokemon, which at the end of the day, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about collecting Pokemon, trying to see where these cards are priced so we can buy and add to our collections. If you're looking to flip, God bless you. I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but again, you know, just very gorgeous cards just to have in your collection. Lastly, we're going to do the scale with these. Kind of difficult because of the fact that, you know, they're just coming from individual sets, like products, so kind of hard to really put them at a medium. But basically, they're sitting in last place in both. You know, they're sitting at the highest point was at $39.95 in ninth place, and then as of today, it still sits in ninth place at $16.04. I'm gonna depict the whole chart here, so you're kind of looking at everything. And yeah, again, this is just a medium look at what these are. Whether, you know, that means anything to you, don't mean anything to me. I just thought it was something interesting to add to this video. But yeah, there you go. So anyways, that is it. That is the final part to the 3-part series of what the fuck is happening to alternate art cards. I hope I didn't answer any of your questions. I hope like this kind of showed something and was somewhat valuable of your time, because these videos were like 40 minutes each. You know, that's the one thing. I definitely don't want to be wasting your time. So I hope you guys enjoyed these. I really appreciate the support, the comments. Of course, any videos you guys want me to do or want to see, let me know in the comments. I can definitely, you know, do whatever kind of videos you want. A lot of people were suggesting doing top 10s, which is something I could try to do. It's just very tough because top 10s are very like subjective, at least for like what cards you think are gonna go up, go down. I could do a top 10 and just prices, but that's basically what this was. Instead of just a top 10, it's at everything. So that's the one thing. But I thank you all for you know, watching these videos, you know, commenting, showing your love and appreciation. I really love all you guys for that. Again, this was just like a fun little thing I was thinking of doing. I wasn't expecting this to, you know, get that much attention, you know, and for everyone that subscribed, I thank you so much. I do make shittier content than this, so just be aware of that. So anyways, again, just anything you want me to do, let me know, and I'm gonna probably do some more stuff. I got Lorcana, which apparently they released a second set after they didn't even fucking release their first set. I don't know what the fuck's happening with that, because their first set is so hard to get a hold of, and now they have a second set. Like, dear God. So I got some packs of that I could do at opening. I got some random packs of Japanese waifu cards I'm gonna do, which that will kind of be fun. I still have to do some Weiss Schwarz Disney, which I really like. I still got to do the new set of fucking Pokemon with the Paradox Rift. That's gonna be, I got to do all those products, which I have. I got like a whole bunch of shit just sitting behind me that I got to open. And then what else? I got Fabled Sagas. I still have to do the second like Halloween packs. I just got so much TCG shit I gotta get through, and then I still have to do the monthly pickups of November and then December. Oh my god, there's just a lot of shit I gotta do, but definitely I also, opening videos are just opening videos. If you guys, a lot of people I see like the more like in-depth market analysis type videos, so I can definitely do those. Again, I am no fucking college professor in marketing. I am not like a shark that can invest a shit ton of money. I'm not a millionaire. I am not Rudy. I like Rudy's videos to a degree, but I am not like a huge fucking cock investor. So you can only take what I say with a grain of salt. I definitely suggest watching other people's videos and kind of getting, what I say, what everyone else says, what you think, and putting that together. That's kind of what you should do. You should never just, watch this video and go, he's saying buy. I gotta buy. Like, you should be looking at every video and, figuring out what you want to do from there. I'm just an Italian fuck. I'm a Guido. What do I know? I get no bitches. So, you're investing your time in a guy that gets no bitches. Yeah. I gotta start a rap career. All right. I never know how to end these videos. I don't want to give you another kiss. I gave you sloppy in the last video, so maybe I'll let you do the sloppy on my knob.